Hello, Delmarva. I'm Angela Duffield from Salisbury, here at WBOC's historic Studio D. Delmarva Life starts right now.
Monday afternoon, everyone. It is March 26th. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hoppa. Welcome to Delmarva Life. Straight from historic Studio D, and we have got to say good afternoon to a wonderful studio audience who has joined us this afternoon. Guys, thanks for coming in.
Coming out on a Monday.
Coming out on a Monday.
You know, before we even get started, and I'm going to throw a wrench into everything, I asked Jimmy before we went on, I said, did you go see the Hunger Games this weekend? And he says, no, but I read the books.
No, I didn't read the books. I'm reading the books. I haven't read the books yet, no.
But yeah, but you read the first one.
I've gotten through the first, I think, 6 chapters.
Oh, okay,
and I really wasn't going to read the books. I was just going to go ahead and see the movie, which is out now.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, and then you sent me this article about the books, and I thought, okay, well, now I got to read the books first.
Now he's
and then we're going to see the movie, which is okay, because I really don't want to stand in line for 6 hours just to get in and see the movie.
Right? It was sold out Friday night, apparently.
Zach wants to go see it so badly.
Yeah.
So that's something we're going to go see.
All right. Well, keep reading.
Some moderate idea after I read the books, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that we were going to start the show with talk about are dolphins.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're already seeing some dolphins off the coast of Delmarva.
Yeah. This warm weather has apparently brought their food source farther north than they usually are. So the dolphins are showing up, and they've got some sightings. According to Suzanne Thurman, the Executive Director of Marine Education, who we'll be talking to.
Who's in the audience right now.
Be right over there. We're going to be talking to her in just a little bit. She said because the water temperatures are warmer, the food source is moving farther north. They're usually here like, what, mid-April? Was that early mid-April, somewhere there? Mid to late April. So we're going to talk to her here in just a little bit about some other things that they do at the Marine Institute, which is really cool.
It's always exciting, though, when you see the dolphins off the coast.
It is.
Bottleneck dolphins.
Bottlenose.
Bottleneck.
Right.
Bottlenose. Yeah. All right. So, well, the other big hot topic of today, this is something you brought up, and it's quite amazing.
It surprised everybody. In fact, when we talked about it earlier this morning, everybody jumped on there and said, no, that can't be right. Let's do some research. Did you know the state of Maryland ranks only behind Florida and Kansas, according to the Weather Channel and their research, as the most tornado-prone state? Did you know? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What they did was they ranked them on 10,000 square miles, and Maryland came in number 3 behind Florida and Kansas. Delaware and Virginia didn't even show up in the top 10.
In the top 10, isn't that
So I'm
strange?
thinking, you know, it was a fluke year or something. They got some odd numbers, and it'll probably change again next year. But
that's very interesting.
The 9th smallest state, and 3rd as tornadoes. And they're saying because the cold air comes down out of the Appalachians, and of course you got that warm, moist air coming up out of the
And the Delaware
ocean.
Bay has something to do with it as well.
Right.
Even though Delaware's not in the top 10.
Right.
Figure that one out.
I don't know.
Well, speaking of, I guess, natural disasters, remember we had the earthquake back in August.
Over in West Virginia?
No, in Virginia.
In Virginia.
The epicenter was in Virginia, and we felt it here.
That was the big one.
The big one.
The big one.
Well, apparently they had another one. A mild 3.1 magnitude earthquake rocked much of central Virginia late Sunday night near the epicenter of the August one. That one was last year. It was 5.8. And we felt it here.
Yeah.
They felt it in neighboring states.
Right.
Definitely felt it in D.C. because they actually assessed some damage to the Washington Monument. So yeah, another one. I wonder what it is. Why are we feeling earthquakes, or why are we getting little earthquakes all of a sudden?
Can you bring up the topic of conversation you mentioned earlier?
Oh, well, some people are blaming it on fracking.
Right.
Which
the
is
fracturing for
the gas, the natural gas. Yeah, they're doing a lot of that in Virginia and West Virginia, mostly West Virginia. Some people say it could be that. I don't know.
So see what happens when you tickle the planet?
It jumps.
One of those.
That's
just
funny.
saying. So did anybody here help plant beach dune grasses over the weekend? 600 people showed up, volunteered to go out to the Delaware beaches and plant some dune grass. which is a great thing. It's the 23rd annual Delaware Beach Grass Planting, and they went out to Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach, Bethany Beach, Bowers Beach, South Bowers Beach, planted more than 100,000 stems, obviously extremely important to keep the dunes from eroding during storms and extremely high tides. So.
Well, if you aren't doing that, then you probably were watching basketball. Who watched basketball this weekend? Anybody? A couple people out there watched some basketball.
Some good times for the Lady Terps.
Yes.
They, as a matter of fact, are now into the Elite Eight. Even though they trailed in the first half, midway through the second, the Lady Terps did well. They came back. They've proven that they can come back from just about any deficit. It's a big reason why. They are now within one game of the Final Four, second seeds, and they were playing defending national champion Texas A&M, and put the Aggies in their place. And now the Lady Terps are moving on. So congratulations to you guys. Wonderful job.
Hey, I wanted to bring up something that I actually saw on the WBOC Facebook this morning. Take a look at this picture I'm going to show you. It is of a trailer. It belongs to Troop 754 out of East New Market, Boy Scout troop that is. This trailer was apparently stolen over the weekend.
From the Scouts?
From the Scouts, from the Boy Scouts. Dawn posted this picture. She's from East New Market. She says the trailer houses all the fundraising supplies for the boys. It's what they use to raise money so that they can earn their badges and go camping. And why would somebody do that? So if you see that trailer anywhere, it's clearly marked.
Yeah.
Call Dorchester County Sheriff's Department.
They'd like to hear from you.
Yeah.
That's
really
silly. And whenever you see it, whoever said, just say shame on you. Do we have anybody here from Delaware? Anybody?
Yeah, we got a couple of people.
I can't see you raise your hand. You got to make noise and then I'll know. Okay, so we've got three. Okay, here's the latest statistic. According to the Gallup poll, 1/3 of all Delawareans are obese. Now here's how that breaks down. It's very important for you to get a mental picture of this. Here's how it works. If the person to your right is not obese, the person to your left is not obese, that means it's you.
Well, we have two people from Delaware, so how does that work out?
I am not even going to get in the middle of that conversation. It's up to y'all to figure it out. I'm just saying, it's 1/3 of them.
Oh, interesting. Well, Delaware's new, nearly, you're talking about that. I'm sorry, my little thing died.
Oh, it did? Oh.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
So we're kind of messing it.
Okay, so the question here is, when you take a bite of food that you're not familiar with, you usually don't take a big bite, right? It's usually a small bite. Okay, now new research is showing that the stronger the aroma of the food, the smaller bite you take. Now follow me on this.
Okay.
So the smaller bite you take, then they say the more you chew. Okay, the more you chew, research indicates, the quicker you feel full. So following all those steps, it makes sense to me that if you want to lose weight, get stinky food. Doesn't that work, right?
I guess.
This is all research. Just put it all together and that's how it turns out.
Interesting.
Smelly food, take a small bite.
Take small bites of smelly food.
That's right.
Ew.
And researchers are also indicating, who in here thinks they have a tall forehead, a big forehead? I got a big forehead. I don't know if it means anything or not. Researchers are saying.
You say they're not clapping. They're all sitting there
Nobody
going,
at all. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing to have a big forehead.
Thing. Researchers say that based on the size of the pre-orbital frontal cortex, that's the part of the brain.
I cannot believe you just said that.
I can't either. I don't even know if it was right. It's the part of the brain that's just above your eyes, where your forehead is. The larger your forehead, the more friends you have.
Really?
Don't know. So, in other words, based on that, Rihanna has a lot of friends, which I guess is true, right?
Probably.
Okay, this guy, not so much.
Oh!
I'm just thinking.
You know him?
It's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Well, at least he was. Used to be.
Hey, interesting story, another interesting story about the young man. You know, prom season is coming up. I know my daughter is getting all ready for the prom. Of course, she has her date already. Well, an 18-year-old Minnesota teenager named Mike Stone used his personal Twitter account to fire off approximately 600 tweets.
Looking for a date.
To porn stars, asking if they would attend his high school prom at Tartan High School in Oakdale, Minnesota. Well, guess what? He got a date.
Got a date.
And yes, she's a porn star. 19-year-old Megan Piper said yes because she didn't get a chance to attend her prom after her family moved to another state. before the yearly event occurred at her high school. Stone had turned to Twitter to get a date for the prom after several girls at his high school had turned him down. Now,
his mom said, you know, I don't think that's a good idea for you, young man.
Yeah. No,
and
I wouldn't want my son to do that. The
school said, you're not going to do that, young man. And then his mom said, well, you know, he can if he wants. So suddenly she's behind him again, and now apparently this thing has taken off among all the social media, and there is, let me make sure that I get this right, there's an adult website that's willing to pay for
a limo,
the limo, for the hotel room, pick up the cost for the date.
Travel agency is paying for Piper's travel
to fly out from LA.
Now he didn't just ask just didn't ask porn stars. He also asked Snooki and Kim Kardashian. He asked a few reality
I wonder how they
stars.
feel about being ranked right in there with the same people that he asked for a prom date.
Yeah,
but
pretty interesting.
He asked, she said yes. Where it goes from here? Don't know. Guess we'll see.
We'll have to do a follow-up.
See how that works out. Who here has ever gone to Google to look for a map to try to get to where you're going? I got to do it all the time if I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. Pull up a Google map. Have you ever seen a Google map that you thought, wow, that's pretty? No, not really? Okay. Well, just in case you do find one, there is now a company that all you have to do is tell them what your favorite Google map is, and they'll do a woodcut for you.
Really?
They use exotic woods. Look at this. They use exotic woods and laser cut, and actually, by the time they're done with it, it is kind of pretty.
You think that's pretty?
Well,
I don't think that's pretty.
Oh, come on.
What is, I mean, that doesn't even look like a map.
Well, and I think that's part of the deal. But they use exotic woods. Now, also the good news here is that just in case you decide it is something you want to do, since they just launched, it's 30% off. Just tossing that out there.
Are you getting a kickback on that?
I should have made a phone call before we did the show,
huh?
Have. I missed that one.
Well, there's a new, well, I guess you don't call it a new moon, but
it's going to be full moon.
There's a moon, a full moon on May 5th. It's known as the supermoon. Whoa, look at that picture.
Look at these pictures.
Yeah.
These are awesome. Now, technically what this is it's called the perigee moon. Now, what that means is the moon doesn't go around the Earth in a perfect circle. It's kind of an oval. So when it's closest, it looks biggest. Well, in the May full moon, everything is going to line up just right to where the moon's going to be on the opposite side of the Earth as the sun. So it's going to be a huge, bright full moon. I think they're saying it's going to look 14% bigger, 30% brighter. Can you really see that when you look at it in the night sky? Not so much, but still it makes for a beautiful full moon. So it's going to be May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a theme for the show. The Big Moon Show.
The Big Moon Show, that's right.
Just saying.
Still ahead on Delmarva Life, the Marine Education Research and Rehabilitation Institute in Sussex County, or MER, prides itself on helping and saving sea turtles and marine mammals. Up next, what you can do to lend a hand to the animals. They need it.
Delmarva Life. Life at its best here on Delmarva.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future, and Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897.